Hello everyone and welcome back to another video by Simplilearn. This is Anubhav and in this video, we will create a real-time chat application using WebSocket and Socket IOwe library, which is the powerful library of Node.js. We will also use HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So let's begin, but before that, if you haven't subscribed to our channel already, make sure to hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon so you will get all the updates from Simplilearn. So the expert at anything was once a beginner. So to become an expert, it is very important to have a solid foundation to achieve this. Learning new things and implementing them is the only way. So now, I have got you an amazing program by Simplilearn. If you want to become a software developer, consider this Caltech postgraduate program in full stack web development by Simplilearn and master those necessary skills. Check out the link in the description for more details. You can also call on the numbers that are given below to know more about the program and they will guide you. So do check it out. Now, let's jump into our video. First, we'll create a program. So for that, I'll open my Visual Studio Code and from here, I'll go to the terminal. So I'll press Ctrl backtick for the terminal and inside this, I'll create a directory or my folder name. So for that, I'll write mkdir and let's name it as, let's chat box. Okay, so this folder has been created. So I'll go to that folder, chat box. Okay, now what I'll do is, I'll just write npm init. Okay, init/y. So from here until it gets installed. So okay. So let's open our folder. We'll open the folder. It must be inside the C drive users, and here I'll find my chat box. So this one is the chat box. Select folder, and it'll open the folder for you. So as you can see, one JSON file has been created with the help of this terminal that we wrote npm init. Okay, so let's move ahead. Let's create a folder inside this chat box and name it as public. Okay, inside this public, I'll create one JavaScript file. Let's name it as client.js, and then one CSS file, let's name it as style.css. Okay, now in my root directory, I'll create one file and name it as index.html. Okay, so this is how the structure is looking right now. Okay, so here I'll write the basic HTML code, okay, which is also known as boiler code. Here I'll write chat box. Okay, let's save it, and we'll also add the CSS. For that, I'll write link, write rel style sheet, and then inside this I'll show him the directory. So inside the public folder, my file is this one. Okay, yeah. So let's close this one, and inside the body tag, I'll give the JavaScript script source. Inside the source, we'll give the directory for the JavaScript. So yeah, it's looking all good. Now we'll install npm. For that, I'll write npm install. We can also write I and then express, and let's press enter, and let's wait a couple of seconds until it gets installed. Okay, it's installed, but I'll tell you what Node.js is. So Node.js is an open source cross-platform server-side JavaScript runtime environment that allows developer to build scalable network applications. It uses an event-driven, non-blocking input-output model, which makes it highly efficient and perfect for real-time data-intensive applications. Okay, so I'll tell you more about Socket.io now. Socket.io is a library for Node.js that enables real-time, bidirectional communication between client and server over a single WebSocket connection. It allows developers to create real-time chat applications such as chat systems, online games, and collaborative editing tools that can handle a large number of simultaneous connections. Socket.io abstracts away the underlying WebSocket implementation and provides a simple API that allows developers to work with events. When a client connects to a server using Socket.io, it can listen to and emit events, which are essentially messages that can contain any type of data. The server can also listen and emit events, enabling bidirectional communication between the client and server. Okay, so let's now install Nodemon in our system. For that, I'll write npm So until it gets installed, I'll tell you about the Nodemon. Nodemon is a package which helps us to not again and again go to terminal and then run our application. When we install Nodemon in our system, it will automatically regenerate the output for us on the server. Okay, we don't have to, whenever we save the file, it'll just reload the page. Let's move ahead now. Now, what we'll do is we'll create a file in our root directory and let's name it as server.js. Okay, inside the server.js, we will connect all the packages. Okay, so I'll write const express require. I'll write express, so it can fetch the express. Const app express function, and then give it a port. So what this line will do is, so it will, when we will deploy our project, it will take us directly to the port. Okay, 3000. Now we'll take another module, which is HTTP. For that, we'll again write const HTTP require. Let's check the spellings also, because I make so many mistakes in spelling. Okay, so let's write here create server on app. Okay, we also have to call it, so for that we'll write a function here, http dot listen. We'll give it a port that we just created. Okay, again I'll give it a function with a fat arrow, and then I'll tell him to console log and listen. It's a backtick, guys. Okay, listening, or we can also write port, and then $sign. Remember, guys, $sign, and inside this we'll write port, so that it can fetch the data inside this port. Okay, now let's save it, and let's create a route also. Now only app.get request will take, and then request and response. Okay, and response. and we'll also write a text here so we can check whether it's working or not. So we'll send a response, and inside this I'll write hello. Save it. Let's save the HTML too. That's fine. Let's now we will change the test, and let's write a script here, development server, and inside this let's write Nodemon, right, server. Yeah, everything looks good now. Okay. Also, after the license, we'll give it some dependencies. It's installed, but I don't know why it's not showing here. So let's write here express. It was installed. Yeah. Dependencies. Yeah, the spelling is correct. Yeah, I got the, yeah. Okay. Now we'll install another one. Dev dependencies, and inside that I'll write node on. Okay. And after that I'll write the which one I want to use. So I want to use, let's save it. And inside this I'll write, let's delete this terminal and create new one. And let's here write npm run dev. As it is showing, listening on port number 3000, okay, that we have created on the server.js, right? Now let's go to our enter, or let's, yeah, here I'll write localhost 3000, and let's refresh it. It's not. We can also, yeah, port 3000. We're on the 3000 port and it's not working on the localhost. So what we do is we'll check for the issue. I've removed the response send line and pasted this one, in which I'm sending a file, this HTML file, in the directory name plus index.html. So I'll go to HTML, and here in the body I'll write h1 tag. Inside I'll write hello from Simplilearn. Okay, let's save it and let's check. Okay, yeah, it is clearly showing us hello from Simplilearn. It was on 5. Okay, so let's go, and here everything looks good, but now we don't need this line. We have to create a full-fledged UI first for this. So for that I'll write section and then give it a class of chat section. Okay, inside this I'm gonna write another div class of, let's write code. Inside this code, I'm gonna write add a image source, and the source of the image I'll write in a while. Alter text, we can leave it as blank also. Okay, so in this one I'll write an h1. What's chat? Okay, so chat box here. So let me add one picture in this public folder. I'll be back. Okay, so I have added one chat.png file. So let me add it in the image source. For that, it's inside the public, and the file name is chat.png. Let's save it. So this is how it's looking right now, but we'll change it and make it a cool UI, and then we'll integrate the chat application. Okay, so let's create a div class after this. So we'll create a div like a chat section. Now we'll create a message section. So for that, I'll create message section. Okay, we can also write message area. The section should be one section, but it will cover more part of the screen. So now we'll create another div inside this. Let's give it a name as class name as incoming messages. As you can see on the WhatsApp, Facebook, or any chatting application, they have two sides. In one side, in the right side, you will see your messages are going, and on the left side, other person or people messages are coming. So this is how we'll create two sides, in which one is incoming messages, which will come from your friends, family members, or anyone, or in one side you will send them a message which will create in a while for outgoing messages. Okay, so inside this, for now, we'll write h4. Okay, we'll write a chunk data for now. Okay, I'll copy this incoming div and paste it here, and let's change the name of incoming to out. So here I'll change the name to Anirudh. Okay, let's save this one. Yeah, so let's open our page and see whether it's working. Yeah, it's completely working fine. Okay, now what we'll do is, after this outgoing, we'll create another div, okay, for the text area. So I'll write text area. Inside this, let's take a name as, or ID, and class are very different. ID is what which we'll use only once. We cannot use it again and again. But class If we create one class and we want to use it anywhere else, we can use it, right? An ID can't be changed, but class we can change. So I'll write text area for calls. Let's give it a 30. Row also. Columns, rows, same thing. Okay, let's give it a 10. Then let's close this section. So I have created one section with this section closing tag. It's not closing anywhere. Yeah. Let's close this section. Yes. Okay. Let's give it a placeholder also for this text. So placeholder is what that you will see inside a text box. Okay. I'll write or let's write something. Let's save it. Let's check. Yeah. Here we can send. Yeah. It's working completely fine. Now let's move ahead to styles. So to save time, I'll copy paste this CSS file from my file and let's wait a couple of seconds. So now I have copied my CSS file and pasted here. So this is the font size that I'm copying from Google. So this star is indicated that this padding and all are for the whole page. And then I'm giving some flex box, justify content and all to center in the body section. After that, the chat section comes up. I'm giving it 100%, 800 pixels of it, max width for 90%. This is for what? To make this app as a responsive. So whenever I'll click on the phone, it will open the screen as a phone. Let's move ahead. So this is what that upper one with logo and chat box, and then message area and all. This is very simple. Okay. So now let's go back to our index and save it, and let's check it. So this is how our application is looking right now. Okay. The image is very big. We can easily decrease the size of this image by just writing height. Here we'll write 40. Let's save it and check. Yeah. So this is how our application is looking right now. Isn't it looking awesome? Yeah. Yeah. We'll add the functionalities with the help of Node.js. Don't worry about that. But this is how it's looking right now. We can also add some more text messages. Now, what we'll do is we'll add some more messages here. So for that, let's add copy this. Okay. This collage component. Let's paste it sometimes. Okay. And as you can see, there is one scroller coming up. Right? Yeah. This is how our application is looking right now. Right? Okay. So the scroller is here now. Now what we'll do is we'll move ahead. Now everything is looking perfect. Now what will we do is we'll install Socket IOwe. So let's open the terminal and I'll press Ctrl C. It will tell me whether you want to close it or not. So here I'll write a command npm install socket.io, and let's press enter and wait a couple of seconds until it installs the powerful socket.io for us. So it's done. Now let's write here npm run dev. Okay, now let's go to the server file, and here I'll comment first and write socket. Don't worry about the code, I'll give you the code in the description box. Okay, so let's import this first. Const IO require socket.io. .io it should come under, and this is okay. Now in this we have to pass a server, which server that we need. Okay, so let's here write http. Okay, now let's give a connection between them. Connection, and after that socket, so to connect the connection with the socket, fat arrow function, and let's here we'll write console.log, and here we'll write connected. Yeah, so let's save it. Now the socket.io setup with server.js is done. So next step would be to get the connection here. So here we'll write script tag. Okay, inside this script I'll give it a source of socket.io /socket .io.js. Okay, so this client library will load here. So let's write here in the client.const socket. This IO is coming from the client library. And let's save it. And let's here refresh, and here. Okay. Yeah, it's working completely fine. Let's move ahead. Okay. Yes. Now we're going to start creating this amazing feature now to prompt. Okay, so whenever any user will come to this website, the first thing that will pop up here is a prompt message, which will tell the user, you tell me about your name, then he or she will tell the name, and then that name will be fixed for that one user. So let's see how to create that. Okay, so inside the client we'll do the name. So let's give it a name, and then let's use do while loop. Here I'll write while, right, and here I'll write prompt, and let's first save this prompt in a name. Okay, So this is how. Please enter your name. Okay, so until in the while we'll write name. So why it's checking the line here? Okay, fine. Yeah, let's save it. So until the user gives its name, then only it will work. Okay, here we'll write let, and then we'll take the text area. Whenever we write something, we want to send that message. Okay, for that we are writing this part. Query selector, inside that we'll write as text area. Okay, now after this do while loop, I'll just write the text area, add event listener, and we'll pass a key here, which will name it as key up, and then one element. Okay, and then we'll check whether we have pressed the entered key or not. Okay, this is what enter dot key, then only enter. Okay, so we'll send as send message, inside that e dot target dot value, right? Yeah. Now we'll create a function. Inside this we'll see how to send the message. The logic will be inside this function. Okay, let's create a new variable for message, and then comma message. Okay, inside this message I'm gonna write message. This name is I'm confused about. Let me just check. Now we'll add, I can see what's the problem in it, but let's check it after some time. So we'll write message, append message. Inside that I'll write message, and then the outgoing string. Okay, now we'll create a function for this append. Okay, first we need to check the append message. Okay, so what we'll be doing here is we'll create a function to append message, and inside that I'm gonna write the message and then the type of the message, like outgoing or incoming, right? And inside that I'm gonna write, now before writing the function we'll import the message area file. So for that we'll go to this here, and here I'm gonna add another okay, it's right here, let message document dot query selector, and inside that query selector we'll write the message area component. Okay, So coming back to the main function that we were writing, so here we'll write let main dev, okay, we'll write document, it's not document type, let's write it document only, document create event, create element, and inside that element we're going to call that def string. Okay, last name, here we are writing the type only because we can't know it's an incoming or outgoing message, so we are just writing the type. It will again add it. The main dev dot, so let's add the class name here. Test will add, and inside that we'll add the class name, we'll add message, right? Now we'll tell him to mark, let markup, okay. So what we'll do is we'll write h4, inside that we'll write let's take this one down, and then here we'll write h4. Inside this we'll call the message user, right? So for that we'll write message dot user, right? And after that I'll create one paragraph. Inside that, whatever message the user will write, that will come inside this message dot message. Okay, let's close this one also, and let's save it. Okay, now what we'll be doing here is let's write main dev dot inner html equals to markup, right? Now we have to append this, right? Write message area dot append child and main dev that we just created with the help of JavaScript, right? Now let's save it. Now what we'll do here is, now let's go back to the HTML file, and now we don't this. Now let's delete these messages, because from now these messages will directly import inside this div, right? So let's save it and check. Okay, so I think it's not working well. Let's open the inspect. Issue, it's any, okay, it's giving me an error. Let's find out what's the error. File to reload the server. with the status or one of the socket IO. Okay. It's in this socket.io.js file. Nothing to preview in the scripts. This socket.io.js file is not there. Let's find out. This all scripts. We need to find out there after. Okay, we can change that one, but don't worry. So this is how our UI is looking. Isn't it awesome? Now I'll type a message. Let's say, how are you? Okay, now I'm gonna send it. Now as you can see, it's typing correctly. So this is how our ChatGPT works. Now I'll add one text from this Anubhav, from that side, from my code. Okay, so what I'll do here is I'll copy this incoming message, and inside this I'm gonna write copy paste. Here I'll write hello, and let's check. Yeah, it's coming in that side. So we'll change the and paste it here, right? So here I'll write I'm good. Good. How are you? Okay, let's save it and check. Yeah, it's completely working fine. Here I'm gonna write now. Okay, I'm good. How are you? Please do Simplilearn to okay. Oh, I just pressed. Now I'll send it. It's saying please subscribe to Simplilearn YouTube channel. Right? Isn't it looking amazing? So this is how we created our chat box using Socket.io. Okay. So with this, we have reached the end of this video. So we hope you had a lot to learn, and if you have any suggestions or doubt, please write them down in the comment section below. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and happy learning. And the source code will be in the description box. Thank you.
Hi there, if you like this video, subscribe to the Simplilearn YouTube channel and click here to watch similar videos. To nerd up and get certified, click here.